Welcome to part 17 of Papermaking with Mark Lander. And today we're going to be looking at the amazing Little Critter Hollander beater. And this is a Hollander I designed to carry around the world with me in a suitcase. So the whole machine weighs in at 23 kilos without the motor. I'm going to pretend to be you, and I'm going to open up a carton and I'm going to see what is inside and show you how to fit the motor and to set it up. Pretty useful, eh? Hey, I think it's arrived! Oh yeah. Let's have a look at this little beauty. This is a 25 kg DHL Express carton, and the Hollander is designed to fit like Houdini in this little box. Right, let's have a look at what's inside. Bit of the frame is the Hollander beater all folded up and put inside like a nice little nest. There it is. Under here is a package. And there should be 7 things in here. A drain plug, the pulley for the motor, 4 legs. Like that. First thing we do is, with a screwdriver, undo a little screw just here. And then the guard comes off like that. Got a hinge on the back. Now we want to unfold the soft tub. Tucked in here is a tube. 2 ends are labelled front and back. You can see it written on there. So this is the back part of the machine here. Pop the 2 legs on and tuck them into there, and the bar goes in between. The lid goes on top, and then Signia faces towards the front, like that. The drain plug, you can see here the little plug fits in there, like that. This normally goes in the lower side, somewhere like that. So you use the washer to draw a neat hole, draw a circle, cut a neat hole, and then just screw the whole thing in there. You can put a little bit of silicone in there if you want. Now the reason why we put it in the side is that this machine is a portable machine And if you go to workshops, you can sit it on any flat table. And most of the pulp will drain out through a drain, but when you've to get the last of the pulp out, you can shuffle the machine over the edge of the table. If you had the drain hole in the bottom, then you'd have to carry round a table with a hole in it, which is not that easy to find when you're doing a workshop. Now your Hollander is assembled, we're going to go over putting a motor on it. And the reason why I don't send them with motors is that motors are uneconomic to ship, and it takes the weight from 23 kilograms up beyond the freight limits for the 25 kg cartons. On the top here is the motor plate. This is where we put the motor. The reason why I don't send these machines out with motors on is that the different countries have different voltages, and it is much easier to source a motor from a local supplier. So in the USA, you look online, say grizzly.com, you look for a 1/2 horsepower, 1725 RPM foot mount motor to bolt on top. And Europe has 240 volt like we do in New Zealand, so you have to get a motor to suit your country. The other thing is you have the warranty for that motor that is local. And the other reason why I don't supply motors is that if you fit it yourself, you have some idea how it's done. It uses a fan belt. You may need to tighten that at some point in the future, and you'll know how to do it. Most people can do it themselves with a drill, a couple of spanners, and if you can't do that, you're bound to have a friend, or you can have a motor fitting party, and it all generally turns out okay. Step 1 for putting the motor on is to take these screws out. One screw there and one screw here. Pop it on, start on. Step 2 is to put your motor on top and line the pulley up with the guard, like that. Mark with a felt pen where that motor goes, and make some pen marks where those holes are. Now we can drill the holes through the motor plate. So I just have a ordinary drill. Now I've measured how long my bolts need to be. Approximately 45 millimeters. But the shop only had 50 millimeters. So here we are. 4 bolts, 8 washers, and 4 spring washers, and 2 10 millimeter spanners. Now this is a fan belt, and these are purchased from maybe an automotive store. It's just an ordinary car A section fan belt, and this one's a 37 inch A37, and it's generally about right for these machines. Now that looks a bit slack, so what I'm going to have to do is drill some more holes, take it off, drill a few more holes here until I can shift the motor that way a little and tighten them up. Now we can pull this motor back until that fan belt tightens up a bit. A little tap with a hammer sometimes helps get that belt just right. Now you can see that fan belt is not over tightened. There's still a little bit of play in that fan belt. It's not stretched over tight. Now we can refit the guard. Oh yeah. Turn the roll by hand, so you lift it up off the bed plate like that, spin it round, and you're listening for any scraping noises. So there's no scraping noises, it's all done. Lid goes on, set to go. This is the main screw which raises the roll up and down like that. These are two stop bolts, and the roll frame rests on top of those, and the roll and bed plate come together like that. So under the roll here is the bed plate, and the water level is just at its highest point there, which is where that arrow is. This inlet is lower than the outlet, which acts as a kind of a pump which pumps the fluid around. So a load, if you're beating cotton rag for example, a load is enough cut up rag into inch squares that will cover the bottom of the tub in a layer, so you don't see any green material. Don't put much more than that to that amount of water. And I always add some old pulp when I'm starting up my batch, and that helps get the rag in suspension, which carries it around and around. There it is, the Little Critter Hollander beater in a suitcase. Now I called it the Little Critter because someone said, I'm going to hunt me out one of those little critters, and like it or not, well, the name stuck. So thanks for watching, we'll see you next time, bye.